Chapter 6. The days pass with no further episodes with the mysterious woman on the bus. Apparently she has given up her quest. Ralph could not know she has refocused her search and has contacted the police. May I see the officer who's in charge of missing people? The lady asks as she draws up her fragile frame to lean on the reception counter. Officer Maxwell is the head of that department. Wait here and I'll see if I can help you. The officer can see the anguish in the lady's face and alerts her boss. Follow me, please. He will see you. I'll close the door so you can have some privacy. Please sit down. Now tell me just how can I help you? This is hard for me, so you must be patient. I have, or had, that is, a beautiful daughter who went by the name of Terry Halstead. We had a happy family until things started to go wrong. I'll not go into any detail because that's not the reason I'm here. To make the story short, I'll just get to the point. She ran off, got involved with drug addicts, and ended up pregnant. I tried to get her to come home, but she would have none of it. Instead, she lived on the streets until the baby was born, and then hung around homeless shelters. Officer Maxwell puts down the pencil and clicks on the recorder. This turned out to be a serious matter, he thinks. Finally, she was found half dead from an overdose, and the police called me. As she laid in her hospital bed, she confessed to me that she had left her little girl on a bus so someone would take her and give her a home. I was appalled to think she would prefer a stranger to take her rather than ask me for help. But that's what happened. After a few days, she passed away. I had to bury her. Maxwell offers a Kleenex. Do you know how it hurts to bury your child? The pain is indescribable. Now I'm trying to find my granddaughter and hopefully make up for failing my daughter. My husband passed away 2 years ago, and I'm all alone. Now, except for my brother. I have a large inheritance, so I'm financially able to care for her. Do you think you could help me? The stress of her leaving her most private thoughts has even left her more fragile looking. The pain of her experience is reflected on her lined face as she slumps even further down in her seat. Maxwell is wondering, is she going to pass out? Maybe even have a heart attack? Let me do some checking, Mrs. Halstead, and I'll see what I can do. What I can find out. Leave your number and address with the clerk at the information desk. Thank you for coming in. May I suggest you stop by the social service unit to let them know you're looking for your granddaughter? I'll be contacting them, but it's always better to have a relative make a report. I have their address and phone number on this card. You take it. Actually, my name is Mrs. Annie Allwright. My daughter didn't even use her own name. Thank you for the time, and I'll get in touch with them. I hope you can find the baby for me. As she is leaving, Sergeant Maxwell gets on the phone and calls Officer Margie Tollbridge. Then she bears a very excited sergeant. She hears a very excited sergeant say, Remember that baby who was left on the bus? I think you're the one who charged that case, weren't you? I seem to remember you let the bus driver and his wife take care of her. What happened after that? The social worker visited him and decided they qualified to be foster parents. They have the baby now. Why, what's up? You never believe it, but a lady, Annie Allwright, claiming to be the baby's grandmother, was just in here looking for her. I guess the baby's mother died of drugs and now she's trying to find her granddaughter. Small world, isn't it? Oh boy, this is going to be a big mess. Those foster parents are hoping to eventually adopt the baby. They're going to be devastated if they have to give her up. Especially Lily. I think her husband has been expecting someone to claim her. Although he's grown very attached to her, though. Do you want me to have a talk to them? No. We need to do a DNA test on the baby, and then the supposed grandmother. Let's keep this under the radar as long as possible. You contact the social worker and get her to make up an excuse to have a doctor check up on the baby. That way we can get her DNA without alerting them as to what they're up to. Sounds like a good idea. No use in stirring up things if she isn't the baby's grandmother. The handsome phone rings as Lily's preparing to feed little Shelly. Oh darn, that thing always rings at the wrong time. Hello? On the other end, Officer Tolbridge gives her name and asks for a well baby check so she can update her records. Is this really necessary? She's just fine. I'm just following orders, Mrs. Hampton. My commanding officer asked for an update on her medical condition. It is our job to see her well-being. Oh, all right, if you must. I'll make an appointment and have her checked. The checkup has to be done by an approved doctor selected by social services. So I'll make the appointment and get back to you. Please give me a heads up a couple days ahead of time so I can make arrangements for transportation. I don't have a car, so I'll have to either call a cab or use my husband's car. No problem, Miss Hampton. I'll let you know as soon as I can. Bye for now. When Ralph comes home that evening, Lily meets him at the door. I got a call from Officer Tolbridge asking for another well baby checkup. I don't see why they have to keep bugging us. She's fine. In any case, I need the car when they tell me when the appointment is, so keep that in mind. They're just doing their job, Lily. Be glad they have such interest in their little ones. Ralph tries not to show what he's really thinking. Do they know about the lady on the bus?